here.
That Zen life is whole health, wellness, and healing.
That Zen life is definitely recovery.
That Zen life es comunidad.
That Zen life is self-care.
Zen life is support.
It's a lot of us taking care of everybody else except taking care of ourselves. And that's what I saw myself doing. I saw myself taking care of my kids. I was a workaholic. I was taking care of my husband. I was taking care of my friends. I was taking care of my grown kids. And I wasn't taking care of me. I needed to change my life. I didn't want to live in fear anymore. I didn't want to worry anymore. I didn't want to live in panic or anxiety anymore. I wanted to make sure that I got back to who I really was, which was I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm peaceful, I'm loving, I'm sassy, and I'm fun. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. I don't care who you are, what you're going through. When you are going through something and you're in the trenches of it, you feel like nobody else is going through what you're going through. And I promise you that is not true.
It's a beautiful cover. I Am Healing, 7 Secrets to Wellness and Self-Care. We need that. We need that.
Hey! Man, what a morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Are you excited about our topic today?
I'm excited about our topic today. Yeah, it's a important topic to me. It's an important one. Yeah, how about you?
I'm excited about our topic today. I was having a being totally authentic here. I had to take like something last night because I was just like so wired. I've been so excited about my office that I wasn't able to get to sleep. So today I'm like, oh my gosh, we're late. So I'm rushing. But I'm so excited to be here.
Well, let me just say congratulations to you on the office for That Zen Life. What a wonderful, development.
Yes, it's really cool to be able to have actual place for people to come to. Zeno Wellness Group has been working really hard to, actually have a place, where we can help people with regards to homelessness prevention. But as a Life Wellness Foundation, all of our clients is able to come to this office now, and we're able to serve them. So I'm excited about the two and how things are growing. So I'm just excited. It's a big win for us.
Wow. Well deserved.
So, but I'm excited about our topic, and I'm excited about our topic, and hey, Yilmaz, thank you. I'm excited about our topic with regards to coping with, coping with failure. But before we kind of get into coping with failure, everyone, if you didn't know, my name is PerCilla Zeno. I am the Healing Partner. And I'm also the author of 7 Secrets to Wellness and Self-Care. I am healing, and I am here also with my co-host.
I'm Simon Timm, and I'm the author of The Self-Salutation, how to transform negative emotions through meditation. And I can be found on my website, selfsalutation.com.
Awesome. So today we're here to talk about how to cope with failure and move forward. So tell us a little bit, Simon, about about that.
I think that's a timely topic. I think it's a good topic. Actually, my whole reflection today is dedicated to one man in particular.
Okay. Who is this? What man in particular would this be?
Yep. All of my reflections. I am sending out these reflections to Donald Trump.
Okay.
In full sincerity, I am sending these reflections, these meditations. I'm sending these out to Donald Trump.
Okay.
With the heartfelt intention to help him move forward, because I've heard that he's had a difficult time, managing failure, and he's not alone.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Not alone.
Yes.
And I know there are some people I just want to acknowledge also, I know there are some people in our society, quite a number of them, who think that he hasn't failed at the moment. So far as I can tell, he has. And I think, when, but I know there are some people who think he hasn't failed. But I think a huge part of the problem is that it's just hard for him to acknowledge failure.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of times when we do, when we get to this place of, I've kind of, I don't want to accept the things that are going on right now, and I'm having a hard time with it. Sometimes it is hard to kind of move forward. We don't really know, what to do, especially, if it's something really public. Okay. Can I share something really quick? Do you mind?
Please. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when my book first came out, Simon.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I was just super excited. And then when the book actually came out, what had happened was they accidentally printed the rough draft instead of printing the actual final copy. So I had over close to 400 people purchase a rough draft of my book instead of the final copy. Talk about epic fail. And it was so freaking oh my gosh. And I was hurt. I was furious. I felt like a failure. And all of these sales are coming in. But as all of the sales are coming in, money is going out because now all of those books I have to replace. So I'm literally calling and figuring out who didn't get a book because they got the wrong book. And now I'm paying for the shipping for them to ship it back. and I'm paying for the new book to be reshipped.
Wow.
So, so a first-time author, typically, they're making money because, their book is going out. Not me. I'm paying for rough drafts. And it was an epic fail. So it took me a long time to kind of get through kind of that process. And I guess my question to you is, how could I have probably gotten through that a little bit more smoother? Because I really beat myself up about it.
Yeah. No, that's a huge part of failure is really beating yourself up about it. And that's a huge part of it. We beat ourselves up about it. We do. And it's not only that failure that we beat ourselves up about. I have student loans. I have a ton of student loans. Like I haven't.
Okay.
Some of my student loans have compounded interest on them.
Right.
This compounded interest is a little crazy. Like they take the interest and then they add that to your principal, and then they charge you interest on. So they're charging you interest not just on your principal, but your principal plus your interest. And failure is kind of like that. You get compounded interest on your failures.
Yes.
So you go through, when you have one failure, a lot of times what happens is it's not just that one failure that you're like, that's hurting you. It's like you're also feeling the pain of, when you were a freshman in high school, you didn't make it onto the soccer team or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Or the dance team. That was me. I didn't make it on dance team.
Yeah. So failure is just like that. It kind of compounds, and so yeah, when we have a challenge like that, it burdens us, and that's why you get a situation like like we have with Donald Trump, where it's just like that failure just becomes too intolerable to even acknowledge. You just don't want to. You can't accept it. You can't allow it into your world, because if you allow it into your world, it's just way too painful. There's just too much. There's too much, because it's not just that one event. It's like all the failures you've ever gone through.
Yes. And I remember also too, like how apologetic I kept saying I'm sorry to so many people when the rough draft was sold to everybody.
Yeah.
And even that, like every time I'm saying I'm sorry, it made me feel more of a failure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was trying to figure out, so moving forward, it took me like a long time to kind of jumpstart that. And I'm wondering, maybe if there was something that I could have done, that could have, jump started that a little quicker.
Yeah. Well, so I do have two techniques that I teach in the self-salutation that really touch upon the components of failure.
Okay.
But before we share those,
okay,
should we pay some bills?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. All right, guys, let's just pay some bills really quick. We'll be back in about 15, 30 seconds, and we'll hear about those two tips.
That Zen Life is whole health wellness. and healing.
That Zen life is definitely recovery.
That Zen life es comunidad.
That Zen life is self-care.
Zen life is support.
And we're back. So I'm excited to hear about these two tips. So tell me, what is the first tip?
Okay. I'm actually going to sneak in a third tip here.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak in a
Just
third.
that quick. We're gonna sneak in a third tip.
Okay.
All right. What's the third tip?
Well, so the first tip.
Okay.
And this is part of the process that I teach in the self-citation, but this is especially for the Donald.
Okay.
The first tip is,
Wait a minute, for the who? For the Donald?
the Donald.
Okay.
Yeah, the Donald.
He's talking about our president Donald Trump. The Donald.
Yes,
Okay.
for the Donald, yes. Because this is, this is part of our reflection today. So
Right.
the first thing is, if you shun those feelings, if you just shove them totally out of sight, you're never going to be able to deal with them. And that's why they compound.
Okay.
That's why they compound, because we shove them out of sight. We don't want to deal with it. So there might be areas in your life where you had a failure from the past, even that it feel like a painful point in your heart. And so like I carried and what's funny about it is failure is often very times just it's perception. It's a lot about perception. So sometimes like you experienced your launch of your book largely in a context of failure, whereas the reality is your book launch is this amazing success. It's a glorious moment.
It did. It literally it came and that bad thing happened, and then Saks Fifth Avenue called me.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the first thing is you got to let yourself, you got to come in touch with those negative feelings, but you have to allow that feeling to have a moment. It's there in your heart already. It's there. It's in there.
Yeah.
And so there's some pain, there's some grief there. No one likes to experience grief.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Icky.
horrible.
It's icky.
But it's in your heart.
Yeah.
It's in your heart. There's oftentimes part of failure is a lack of self-worth, the really vulnerable feeling that you're not enough, you're not going to be enough. It's already there in your heart. You have you have to allow it to kind of you have to see it, bring it out, let it recognize that.
Okay.
So that's step number one, is just letting what's in your heart, seeing what's in your heart, what's really there, kind of have a moment of expression, and that's tip number one.
Okay.
So step number two is that we need self-acceptance.
Okay. So, okay. So, I think I had it before backwards. So number one is kind of getting clear with your self-worth, where it comes from, right?
No. Number one is allowing your feeling to just acknowledging whatever you're feeling.
Okay. So acknowledging where you're feeling. Okay. So is that the acknowledgement? Is that the same thing as the self-acceptance?
No,
it's not.
No,
right?
No. This is just you have these feelings in your heart. You just allow them to
be.
To be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
allow
the
it to be.
first one is acknowledging. And then the second one is getting clear where self-worth comes from.
Yes. That's
Okay,
right.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the first one, no, the first one is acknowledging. Point
Okay.
number one. You got to acknowledge you have to acknowledge whatever you're feeling.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Point number two. Once you acknowledge those feelings, you have to let yourself, you have to, the way to heal all of this is learning self-love, self-acceptance.
Okay.
That is, in my experience, and I've seen again and again in the people that I work with, that is the number one secret to transformation in general. I don't care, some people, I'm sure some people think like, wow, should I like encourage Donald Trump to accept himself? I know there are some viewers that would be like, should I, is that even, some people feel like that's like, that's a horrible thought. Actually, and for viewers who have just come in here, we're dealing with the topic of how to deal with failure, and in specific, I'm offering advice to Donald Trump here.
Yes, and so many others, that get caught. Right, because we all get caught in this space where, you know what I'm saying, we're kind of like, I really don't want to admit that I was mean as hell to this person. And instead of me just apologizing and making it right, instead I'm gonna pretend as if I did nothing.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? It wasn't me, it was you.
Yeah. So yeah, big failures, small failures. We all have, we're human. It's part of our experience. We have failures, and that's the key. That's part of the key to open the door to self-acceptance. Just realizing, like, you're a human being. You're making mistakes in this world. It's a challenging world. You have to accept yourself. You have to accept your shortcomings. You can't, you can't go through life beating yourself up every time something goes wrong.
Yeah.
You can't, you often get caught in the loop of failure, David is saying. Yeah. So it can be like that, but you have to simply accept yourself for your shortcomings. And this doesn't mean that you're not going to change, that you won't change and grow. Some people sometimes worry like, but how can I accept myself? I need to change. I need to be so much better than I am right now. How could I possibly accept myself with these shortcomings? You will change when you accept yourself. It doesn't work. If your acceptance is always going to be contingent on your being some state of perfection that is out of that you're not at right now, it's going to be forever out of reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like life is a process of evolution. There is no like ultimate destination. You're gonna always get better. You're gonna always,
I think that though, when we get caught in the moment, honestly speaking, if we think about our failures, maybe you started school and then you dropped out.
Yeah.
Like feeling like a failure in that. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? We've parents, you know what I'm saying, who have kids and the kids didn't turn out the way you thought. You feel like a failure. And that's simply not true. It's not true. There's no manual. I mean, yes, there's a manual to the presidency. Yes, there is a manual of what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But even in that, like if we think about the point that you brought up with regards to even the presidency, even though there's a manual for the presidency, they're still human.
They're human. Yeah.
They're still human. Like they're gonna fail.
They're gonna fail. Yeah.
We just gotta know, kind of like how to bring that out, right?
Yeah. And so that's why, self-acceptance, allowing yourself to, forgiving yourself for your shortcomings. It's the numero uno thing that you can do to heal and move on from failure. You just have to you have to forgive yourself for it, and it's that lack of forgiveness that actually prevents us from growing, from changing. Because until you've forgiven yourself, you have a voice in the back of your head that's that's like hammering on you. How could you have done that? What's wrong with you? Why are you, so how come you keep doing it again? And what it, so how can you, how are you going to move forward, and let your best self flourish when there's this punitive voice in the back of your head? It doesn't.
Yes.
So that's why the forgiveness is so important.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's number one is you have to allow yourself to feel what you feel. Number two is you got to forgive yourself for your shortcomings completely.
Yeah. Renee said, the twilight zone of my life, the door to my failed attempts in this life. Wow. Yeah. I think we all kind of feel like we're living in kind of like a twilight zone when the actual failure happens. My first marriage didn't go that great, and I kind of felt, like I was a bit of a failure. Like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? My first marriage, I thought that I was gonna live. I thought we were gonna live happily after. It didn't work out that way. And, especially when you have kids, it makes you feel like more of a failure. But I think that, that's the lie at times, that we have to try to not believe the lie in the times where it's not true. Now, there are times where we will fail. And like you said, we do have to admit the failure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's we have to admit the failure, and we have to admit our feelings around that. Our feelings around that. Yeah. So the third key that I share about, that I'd like to share about this morning is part of what's going on in failure. Part of why failure can be so difficult to folks is because we all have a tendency to place our self-worth in something that it shouldn't be in.
Oh my gosh.
We all have a tendency to place our self-worth in our accomplishments, in our some external validation that we're looking for in this life, in whatever it is, whether it's success in your business, whether it's success in your family, whether it's we measure ourselves according to external accomplishments, whether it's in terms of relationships or in terms of our work, when in reality that's not where our self-worth comes from. That's not where your self-worth comes from. It's crystal clear when you look at any baby. Right? Because if you pick up any child,
right.
any baby, any child, toddlers, when they're very small, it's much easier to perceive.
Yes. Yeah. I was just looking at Renee Whitaker's comment. Well, to your point,
Yeah.
that we place our self-worth in these things where it shouldn't be. So we place our self-worth
That's
in
right.
career, in our love life, in our children, and etc. Like we do. I agree with Renee. We do, and I agree with you too, Simon. We do.
Yeah.
We put our self-worth in these places, and then when they don't work out, we're like, what the hell?
Yeah. And then we kind of collapse, we cave in, we start to the feelings of failure can become unbearable. But but in actuality, your worth is as a human being is immeasurable. Okay? Your fundamental worth as a human being is just like it's limitless. And there's nothing that you or I can accomplish that actually even adds to that. You know what I mean? It's like there. It doesn't. You don't have to. There's one little story that I'll share about this. I have a close friend. My wife and I visited a close friend a couple of years ago, and his family, and they had their boy was maybe 7 years old, and he was the cutest, sweetest little boy. We just, we loved him, and he came. Little kids, he came and he wanted to show us all of his toys. And so, he was bringing them out to us one by one.
Right.
Right. He was bringing them out to us one by one. And we were, we didn't care about his toys.
Right. Didn't get too bad about the toys. Right.
But we thought he was really sweet, and we just loved him, dearly because of because he was a sweet little boy.
Right.
And on the morning that we were going to leave, he was trying to fly his he had this one toy that he was really proud of, and it was this remote controlled helicopter. And he wanted to show us he could fly it, and he couldn't fly it. And he was devastated. He melted down thoroughly.
You said he did what? Did he have a fit?
He couldn't get his remote control helicopter to fly.
Right.
And he was devastated.
Oh my gosh.
It was a total, for him, it was an epic failure. Like his moment to really show us.
Right, to shine.
What he was worth.
Oh no. Because that's what you're saying. He put his whole self-worth into trying to show you guys in his
toys. And he was wanting to really impress us and show us and we didn't care. we didn't. It wasn't going to move the needle on us. That helicopter was not going to move the needle. But it didn't matter because we already loved him. We already thought he was.
Yes, you loved him regardless. It didn't.
We loved him regardless.
He didn't need to show you that part, but
yeah, but it was a devastating, moment for him, and so in the big picture, all of our failures are really like that. In terms of your worth as a human being, what does it what does it doesn't matter whatever, I don't care what the failure is.
Mm-hmm.
The worth of you as a human being is so much greater than any accomplishment or failure could possibly affect.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
and so it's a really important, third step is to learn to come in touch with your actual true worth, your genuine worth as a human being, and to have a real experience of how limitless that is. And
Yeah.
to know that there you don't have anything to prove. You don't have any, thing that you need to, accomplish or do. You just are already.
Preach. I love that. I love that. No, seriously, I love that because before really becoming awake and who I am, who self is, showing up and being present, I will say that there are different areas in our life as far as failure, and as you talk about that, and you talk about that little boy, what it brought me to is the many times that I felt like a failure for my mom. Because my mom, I hold such high esteem because she just was like, she's like Superwoman to me. And, and I always looked up to my mother, you know what I'm saying? Because she's always done these amazing, impossible things. A mom with 5 kids made the dean's list. Just like working 2 jobs working a full-time job and going to school at nighttime and raising 5 kids by herself and making the dean's list. and so when you talked about the little kid, I was just thinking about the times where, I wanted to impress my mom, and I wasn't able to, or she would show, even if she would show like she was a little disappointed in something that I had done or something I had said, it crushed me. It crushed me. I kind of felt like a failure, but it wasn't to the point that you were making. I shouldn't have held my, I shouldn't have held so much of my self-worth in my mother, because it's right.
But and that's the problem, is that it starts when we're kids. It's like, what can you do? How do you get a 5-year-old to trained to know their self-worth?
Yeah, exactly. How do you do that? David said, thanks, Simon. There was a part of my journey where I began to feel like that little boy because of the delays in my PRS certification class admittance, to where I started questioning myself. Because things weren't moving as fast as we need them, we start to feel like failures too. Like, okay, if you don't have a job and then all of a sudden you're in this waiting period to get a job, you do start to kind of feel like a failure.
Oh yeah. That's a seriously trying experience. Absolutely.
So can you kind of go back through those 4 points really quick so that
so there's 3 points. The first is allow yourself to feel the difficult feelings that are in your heart. It's tough. I know that's the hard part. That's challenging. But if you just if you try and pretend that they're not there, you're just sequestering them sort of to the underworld. It makes it more difficult. Then it just suppresses the whole thing. So just allow yourself to experience the feeling. And then second of all, self-acceptance and self-love. Shower yourself with a felt experience of love and acceptance. You're a human being. You're having a human moment. We all go through that. We all have ways we need to learn and grow. It's okay. Just give yourself just the genuine feeling deep in your heart. It's okay. And then step number 3 is to focus on pulling your self-worth away from these external things, and just to realize that your self-worth is already cemented and guaranteed.
Yes, love that part. I wish we could have got that like way back when we were younger.
Yeah, it's there. It's already. It comes with your. It was gifted to you with your creation. Your worth is immeasurable, and that's what it is.
Cool. And
yeah, so that's number 3.
That's number 3.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have these 3 points. Now, how do we kind of put this into practice? Are you going to share something with us so that we can kind of move this into our practice in the morning?
Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to lead just a brief meditation.
Okay.
Where we focus on setting intention to experience your own self-worth. I just want to focus on that one this morning. Just really cultivating the and the way I do this meditation is to set the intention. It can be, you might have questions around how do I get in touch with my sense of self-worth. Well, the way you do it is you just set an intention. I'm going to experience myself. I'm calling forth an experience of my own self-worth. And you just focus on that. I'm focusing on experiencing my own self-worth. You just repeat that intention again and again, and I'll lead us in that just a brief meditation for a couple of minutes.
Okay. All right. Let's get to it. I'm ready.
Okay. So start out. Let's just get ourselves prepared for meditation. Stretch yourself. Roll your shoulders. Roll your head. Get yourself seated in a comfortable position here, and then let's take a couple of deep breaths together. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep, fill your lungs full of air, and then exhale through the mouth. Fill your lungs full of air, and then exhale through the mouth. And then you can allow your eyes to close, and we'll step into a meditative space together. In a minute, I'm going to offer prompts. And when I do, I invite you to repeat these prompts to yourself so that you're saying them with as much sincerity as you can within your own heart. I'm now setting my intention to fill myself with a felt experience of my own infinite worth. I'm setting an intention to fill myself with a felt experience of my own infinite worth. With every inhale, I fill myself with a felt sense of my value as a human being. With each exhale, I'm releasing anything that holds me back from connecting with a sense of my own dignity. With every fiber of my conscious being, I'm calling forth a felt experience of my true value to the greatest capacity that I'm capable of experiencing it at this point in time. I'm calling forth a felt experience of my own true value. Deep within me, I'm connecting to the well of strength and power that is within me, my inherent worth. Now I invite you to focus on your breath. Return to a focus on the breath coming in and going out as you exhale and inhale. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
That was good. I actually really enjoyed the part where you said I'm calling out I think you said you're calling the self to experience true value. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That was so powerful. Jeez, oh my gosh, it was so powerful. I mean, just really, because what it did was it really kind of connected your self-worth with who you are mentally.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you so much for that, Simon. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers today for tapping into that Zen Life Wellness Foundation's Wellness Wednesday, Coping with Failure and Moving Forward with myself, with Simon Timm, the author of Self Salutations, and also with myself, PerCilla Zeno, the healing partner, author of I Am Healing, the 7 Secrets to Self-Care. We are hoping that you will join us next week, next Wednesday, on our Wellness Wednesdays, which happens every single Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. If you didn't catch all of it, you can always go to thatzenlife.org/broadcast. And you can also go to That Zen Life Wellness Foundation's YouTube channel and check out more of our segments. Just want to say to you guys, be well, rock on, and most importantly, fill the negative spaces in your life with positively every single thing that you need. See you later. We're going to go to commercial. All right. Talk to you soon.
That Zen life is whole health, wellness, and healing.
That Zen life is definitely recovery.
That Zen life es comunidad.
That Zen life is self-care.